What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to Comic Book Nerd Nation. Brian just took a fucking stage dive off camera. I don't even know what the fuck that was about. It was special, though. I think he's puking on the floor or something. Anyway, I'm Fox 2. We've got Brian. I'm going to start with him just to make it fucking awkward.
Hola, mi amigos.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Topher?
I find myself without a mask to put on at the current moment.
Hard to follow that shit.
Yeah.
For sure. That was with the quickness, too, because I called on him first. And we got Pirate.
I got nothing.
Yeah. Coming with the fucking heat right out of the gate. Damn.
Special guest Deadpool.
All right, so...
That's a pretty cool mask, actually. Where'd you get that?
That is a nice
I made it myself at home.
Did you really?
Damn.
No shit.
That's legit.
I like it.
It's that Canadian sewing talent.
Are you going to wear that to the movie?
Maybe. It's my movie.
So, just as a forewarning, Google decided to release a beta without asking people if they wanted to use the beta for the Hangouts. So if this looks or sounds fucked up or disconnects at any point in time, that would be the reason. You can send your congressman an email and bitch to them or whatever the fuck, because we can't
Google
do
has more
shit
power than
about
the Congress.
it. Yeah, so it looks pretty neat so far, but we'll see how it acts. Just as a preface, we are recording this episode early because I am actually going out of town for a week, and ain't none of us read shit, I don't believe, since we recorded 2 days ago. So,
I read the first Batman Earth 1.
all right, well,
I read the ingredients to toilet paper while
sounds
I was
like
taking a shit.
sounds like Topher's got something to say. What did you think about the first half of Batman Earth 1? We'll get a review of the first half. How about that?
I think it took longer to read than the 20 minutes you said it was going to. So 20 minutes late. I started it 20 minutes ago, and I'm not done with it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the artwork's really good. So far, it's okay. So am I to understand that, is this like the real universe, or is this an alternate
this is just like
universe?
This is just like a one-off kind of different universe.
So
it's not canon.
Which Earth is the real Earth then?
It's not really. No, it doesn't have anything to do with like the real Earth versus Earth 2 or anything like that. It's just, you have to almost think of it as just a series name, like a branding name.
I'm looking through a peephole, answering the door, and Deadpool's there when I look in the bottom corner.
I'm trying to figure out why you guys are in tiny boxes.
I feel like I'm looking through a peephole and answering the door, and there's Deadpool.
This motherfucker! I tell you what. So you have to kind of think of it as like almost like a branding, like a.
Okay, but that being said, then what is the designation of the real DC universe?
There isn't.
They have one?
No, there isn't. There isn't one as it pertains to that series. That's just the name of that series. It's not.
No, I get that. Okay, but not this series. Forget this series. Like the main series. Like
Earth Prime.
What is
Earth
Prime?
Earth Prime. Okay.
Yeah, Earth Prime is what they call it. Like
Earth
in
Prime
like
is
what's the what's the crossover where they go to, what's it, Crisis on Multiple Earths or something? Yeah, Infinite Earths. Yeah, that they, in something like that, they refer to it as, is it Infinite Crisis? Yeah. The animated isn't Crisis on Infinite Earths. Anyway, it's Earth Prime in
like
those.
6
Yeah.
of them. Okay. All right. See, I didn't get that, because I'm like, Earth 1 sounds like it should be the primary one, because I've heard of Earth 2 before, so I always thought that meant that Earth 1 was the the main one. And I'm reading this and I'm like, this seems different. Like, this is not how I remembered certain aspects.
Yeah, it's not. It's completely
Batman's backstory.
separate from all, like, even Earth 2's timeline. It's just on its own, just like Superman Earth 1, or I think there's an Aquaman, Teen Titans Earth 1.
I mean, I'm well versed in alternate universes and
Yeah, I
and,
imagine
and how
so.
that
Being a
works.
Marvel person,
Right? You
there's only
know,
about 72 of them.
no, there's way more than that. And there's a Secret Wars tie-in for each one. Um,
Just read the shit by fuck. What's the bald guy? I'm drawing a lot of blanks tonight.
Professor Xavier?
No, the fucking the writer that
He's
makes
bald.
everything like excessively
Brian
confusing.
Michael Bendis, or no? Oh wait,
No, he
'cause
did
he's
Multiversity.
the guy that makes everything confusing. That has to be Grant
There
Morrison.
it is. Yeah,
Right?
that motherfucker could make a Twizzler confusing.
The voices in my head make everything confusing too.
If they're that loud, I'm surprised you're not deaf.
Everything confusing and unable to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, now knowing that this is the main universe, it makes a lot more sense. But yeah, it's an interesting story about so far anyway about Batman's earlier days, and it's kind of interesting watching Batman fuck up and fail and fall flat on his face and random shit. But you know, it is seeing as it's different. It's I don't know. It's okay. I can't say I'm super crazy about it. I'm only halfway through it. It just seems like every time somebody tries to tell an alternate universe story, they try and squeeze as many characters in it as possible. So like, you know,
For sure.
you've got Harvey Dent as a childhood friend of Bruce Wayne. You've got, you know, Alfred's role is kind of different in this one. You've got,
Have you
you
gotten to
know,
the point where Bruce
you've
Wayne
got the
fights
Penguin stuck in as something. I'm have I gotten to the point where what?
Have you gotten to the point where Bruce Wayne fights Alfred?
That's the best panel
No,
ever.
spoiler alert.
That is probably no. I mean, it's not like a
It's
big,
fucking hilarious.
but it is probably the best 2 to 3 pages or whatever of. I mean, it's up there as far as if you're a real Batman fan. That's like some of the best fucking shit that's out
Like
there.
the story's been interesting, but just parts of it feel kind of forced. Whenever they tell an alternate universe story, it seems like everybody tries to fit in as many references as possible to, you know, I don't know, like just like, oh, this is different. Check out this is different. Check out how this is different. It's like I get that it's different. Like you don't have to keep shoving it in my face every 3 panels, you know, like so I mean it's been an interesting story and I guess I'll see how it turns out and finishes, but I I haven't been amazed by it, to be honest.
I think one of the things that I liked the most about it was what you mentioned about how it's kind of a different telling of like when Bruce Wayne became Batman, and you get to see that like human element of like struggle to better himself as Batman, and the failures that were associated that you have to assume that
And
someone would have.
and I think that is the cool part of this, but I think that that's the only part I want to read. Like I don't need the alternate universe stuff. Like why can't you tell that story in the main universe? Like I would be really interested to see, you know, Batman's early failings in the Earth Prime universe, you know,
Yeah.
like in the normal timeline it's like what if that's an interesting story and it's worth telling, then why not tell it about the real Batman? Like why the alternate universe one? Like I guess I just don't see what that adds to the story. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but to me it's detracting from the story that I'd like to read more so than it's adding something interesting to it.
I'm
For me
interested
anyway,
to
so
see
far.
I'm interested to see what you think when you're done with it, and maybe like after you're done with that, and I get back in town, I'll give you Earth 1 Volume 2. I hope everyone that's watching this is paying attention to what
Where's
Deadpool is
Deadpool?
doing.
There he is.
Doing
Where's
down here in the
Deadpool?
corner.
Right here.
Really,
There he is.
really doing a good job of acting like Deadpool. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty spectacular. Speaking of which, did you guys see the Thanksgiving dinner picture
Yes.
that Deadpool Films posted, I guess, or Deadpool Movie, I'm sorry, at Deadpool Movie on Twitter? They posted a picture of
Naughty.
of Deadpool kind of laid out on top of a giant Thanksgiving table, kind of with his foot kicked up like he's like a 1920s pinup girl or whatever. And it says, I forget, is a turducken stuffed with 3 additional meats or 4? Happy Thanksgiving.
I did not see that. That's fantastic.
It's pretty good. I really think that this Deadpool movie is gonna. I don't think it's definitely not gonna beat like Star Wars or anything at the box office, but it's gonna be. It's at 100%. It's gonna be an absolute smash hit.
It's gonna be highly enjoyable, and it's gonna be legit. You know, like people are still gonna want to watch it a few years from now. It's gonna hold its own.
Absolutely.
Like it's probably going to be one of the better Fox movies to date.
I think it's going to be a big surprise at the box
They
office.
sewed my mouth shut once. I didn't like that.
I think it's going to be a big surprise at the box office. I think that a lot of people that are not necessarily involved in the comic book community are going to go and see this, and they're probably going to see it more than once. I think that this is going to be the kind of movie that like Wedding Crashers or Step Brothers or Anchorman, where people go and watch it and they want to see it again because there's so many layers of comedy that you might not catch all of it the first time, and the second time and third time that you see it, you're picking up on more and more of the puns and the little subtle things that are funny. So I think that this movie, while I don't think it'll beat Star Wars, I think it's going to beat a lot of the comic book movies, that are out there. I think it'll do better than like Guardians of the Galaxy even.
Wow.
And that's saying something.
It's because I'm better looking than a squirrel.
I might have to disagree there. Like I think it's possible it'll be as good a movie and be as, have better rewatchability than Guardians of the Galaxy to a certain extent. But I don't think it's going to do better at the box office solely because of the fact that it's an R-rated movie. And
I think that's what's going to make it do better.
And it's in February.
Well,
Star Wars is in December.
Yeah, but December is a good month for movies.
No, dude, Star Wars is notoriously a bad month.
But they put the big movies. They put big movies in December.
No, they put the big movies in July.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, summer blockbusters, but I'm saying the last movies of the year.
The records for movies in December are like really low. We just talked about this actually last episode while you were, I'm assuming, hungover after your birthday.
Yeah, it was definitely.
But yeah, we were talking about. I can't remember. I might have the.
But I mean, well, okay. Here's what I'm actually trying to say. Not maybe record months or any like big numbers, but like you put all the Lord of the Rings always released on Christmas.
True, but that was
the other Star Wars.
Yeah, but there was something he was reading that no movie released in December had ever grossed more than X amount in the first during opening weekend, and it was like, one of the worst months for box office.
Right, no, and I mean, I'm not saying monetary wise. I'm just saying like really big movies, like that get a lot of awards or.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, like good movies, not just like they made a lot of money.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Fair enough.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
What I'm saying though is like I agree that there will probably be fans who are a lot more avid about Deadpool than people were about Guardians of the Galaxy who go out to see Deadpool in February. I don't think that it's going to sell more tickets than Guardians of the Galaxy did because the appeal isn't as universal. There are a lot of people who love Deadpool, and they may love it more than the people who love Guardians of the Galaxy, but the fact that you can't take your kids to it,
that's a valid point. That's a very strong valid point.
It's just going to reduce ticket sales.
I agree.
You can't slap the Disney name on a movie and open it up to kids with a PG rating and expect that it's going to be outsold by an R-rated movie that you can't take your kids to.
I agree, but I think that some of the people that weren't interested in Guardians of the Galaxy, because just for whatever reason, really, could possibly be interested in this movie because of the crude humor and the action and things like that. I mean, this is basically going to be like a mashup of fucking Rambo and Step Brothers, essentially. And I think that that's going to appeal to a lot more like college age young adult people that would not necessarily have gone to see Guardians of the Galaxy if they weren't into sci-fi or comic books. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy did really good for the reason that it was kid friendly. You could go see it and take the whole family. But I think that there was also a large demographic of like young adults that probably didn't see it just because they didn't know what the fuck it was. And I think that you're going to hit a lot more of that demographic that really likes the rude, crude humor and action and stuff like that, which is what this is going to be targeting. I honestly, I think it's going to be really close. I think you're going to be surprised. I think it's going to be really close.
I will agree that there is a demographic of people that wasn't necessarily interested in Guardians of the Galaxy that will go see Deadpool. I also believe that demographic is far smaller than the number of people who went to see Guardians of the Galaxy and won't be interested in Deadpool. Like, are we going to make this a bet? Are we going to make this a challenge? Opening box office weekend?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
Don't we already have a challenge for Deadpool?
No, we don't. We don't have a challenge for Deadpool.
I think me and Deadpool had a bet going on.
Let's put 5 on it.
You're all wrong. It's a date movie. You bring your girl chocolate, you bring her to see Deadpool, then you bring her in the back of her car. You're all wrong. It's a date movie.
Let's put 5 on it.
All right.
Let's put 5. I got that that Deadpool will at least meet or exceed the opening box office numbers for Guardians of the Galaxy opening weekend.
Wow,
Sure.
that's
I will take that
now,
bet.
does before we make that all like buttoned up official and everything, are the weekends the same? Like, it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy didn't open on a Thursday and this is opening on a Friday. Do we know that?
I believe this one's on a
don't know.
Thursday.
So they're probably both opened on Thursday.
Probably the same, but I'll check that.
All right.
Yeah,
Our research
we'll check on
analyst
it.
Pirate will check on that for us while we're continuing
Puts
on.
the anal and analyst.
Analyst. Yeah, I really think that.
But
I mean, you could be right, 100%. I give you could be 100% correct, and Guardians of the Galaxy may blow it out of the water. But I just have this sneaking suspicion that it's going to be one of those movies that people don't really expect to be like just crazy. And
this one opens on a Friday.
It does open on a Friday. Do you know
on Lincoln's birthday?
Can you Google what day of the
Andrew
week?
Lincoln?
It's a Friday.
No, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, when did that open? What day of the week did that open?
Coral, when did Guardians of the Galaxy open?
We need to get. You know what we need?
Coral,
we need
get me a chimichanga, Coral.
We need an off-camera intern that works for free that will just fucking GTS.
We need a Chewy. We need a Chewy. We need a midget.
We need somebody that's just off camera that will just Google shit as we're saying it to just be like, nope, that's bro science for sure. That's bro science. You can't fucking count that. Like, just either credit or discredit all the fucking probably highly unfactual statements that we say constantly. I mean, really, when you think about it, our podcast could very well be like an hour long of just a string of bullshit most of the time. Let's be honest about this.
Could be.
I mean, 100%. We're gonna
August 1st.
I think
It was a Friday.
Okay, so
Google's-
we're good. All
Google
right, so it's on. We'll put 5 on it.
Google says Deadpool will be released on Friday the 12th. Guardians of the Galaxy was released on August 1st, which was a Saturday.
I just looked at the calendar of 24. No, that's of 2014, not 2015.
Yeah, way to go.
Oh, that was last year, wasn't
our
it?
official fact checker, Pirate,
Look at that.
already hooked us up with the knowledge.
Okay.
So, dropping that shit like it's hot. Just put the fucking truth hammer down on Topher for a second there.
You're right.
Boom.
I was looking at 2015.
Not only are you music man,
calendars are good every 7 years, though. So, I mean, it was only 6 years off.
Now that you're not only our music specialist, now you're our bullshit verification specialist as well. Just fucking dropping it. So, Deadpool, did you get a chance to read anything this week, or? I think.
I
Oh no, he's
read the ingredients of toilet paper when I was taking a poopy.
What,
I don't even
so
know
what's
what
in
to
it?
fucking say about that. The ingredients of toilet
What
paper.
are the ingredients?
Rock
Isn't it just
lobster.
toilet
I vote.
paper?
I vote rock lobster on that.
Rock lobster.
It's made out of clouds and everything that feels good on your butthole.
Deadpool just pulled a
Yeah,
rock
man, he
lobster
just
out.
straight fucking pulled that rock lobster straight out. That was just terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know we're going on very little material, but wow,
That's rock lobster.
Jesus Christ! All right, that's fucking special. Is what that is. So a little bit of news that's maybe not mainstream news, but something that kind of hits close to home here for the Comic Book Nerd Nation. We have I would call him a friend of the podcast, definitely a supporter. He's been on at least once. I can't remember if we had him on twice or not. Sean Forney, artist, comic book artist, does a lot of comic book conventions. He will be a featured artist at I don't know if it's considered featured, but he's in the Artists Alley at the San Diego Comic-Con 2016. It will be his first year of being accepted into that. I guess that's something that's so big and there's so little space. You have to apply to get in there. So that's congratulations to him. I'm not sure if he listens to our podcasts. If he does, awesome. Congratulations, Sean. We should really have him on again and talk about that. Promote that shit a little bit.
Deadpool at Deadpool?
I bet he can.
Pretty sure I've seen him draw it on Facebook.
I'm pretty sure he has. Yeah, check out what is it, Sean Forney Art on Facebook, I believe. Just Google that shit. Just saying. Sean Forney, SeanForney. He's always been a supporter of the podcast from the early days.
First guest too, wasn't he?
He might have been the first guest.
Either him, no, maybe him or Yale Stewart.
He was an early on guest, and we've met him several times at several different conventions, and always asking how the podcast is doing, and just super super friendly guy. I would highly recommend, if you see him, pick up some of his art. Can't see it in frame, but I have several of his framed pieces autographed on the wall behind me.
Can he dance?
Super good dude. I know, Pirate, you've got a couple of them as well.
Yeah. A couple of his books.
Topher, you've met Sean as well, haven't you?
Oh yeah, like I say hi to him every time we go to Cincy, go past his booth at the
that's
Cincy
what
Comic Expo.
that's what I thought.
Did I see him
Gem City?
I didn't see him at Derby City. I saw him at Gem City. Yeah,
he's at Gem City. He's at Derby City. He's at Cincinnati Comic Con. He's at
Lexington.
A bunch of them out in this area, but he's started branching out. Brian, I wouldn't be surprised if New York Comic Con would be on his schedule. I would highly recommend you going out and saying hi to him. But yeah, congratulations to him. Sorry, we spent a lot of time on that. We're kind of looking for some filler. I'm not gonna lie.
So I've got one piece of news. Did you guys see lately that we did our roast of Batman?
Oh God!
Which one? Batman Returns.
Robin.
Batman and Robin. Right.
Worst 2 episodes we've ever done. Bad, terrible idea.
Yeah.
We'll never do that again.
Well, we did those though in the vein of an old show called Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Batman Returns?
No, it was Batman.
No,
and Robin.
it was Batman and Robin. It was
because it had the fucking Mr. Freeze and all that shit in it.
Oh yeah.
But we did that in the vein of Mystery Science Theater 3000, which a lot of you may have watched in the past. I'm sure you guys have seen that show, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, they recently, the makers of MST3K recently decided they wanted to do a reboot of the show. They wanted to get it going again and start making new episodes. So they started a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or something, and they
Go fund yourself.
They got they got a ridiculous amount of money, they got like $3 million like in the first 24 hours or something. It was fucking crazy. But they hit their goal, and they are going to be making new episodes of MST3K, and they've reached out to some people, and they've gotten some pretty some fairly high profile people to be on it. Felicia
awesome.
Day is going to play the main villain in it, and Patton Oswalt just signed up to be another like bad guy, like like her henchman on the show for like the in between segments.
I'm just like, you say MSCT3K sounds so weird to me for some reason. I don't know why. It's every time you said it, I was like, what?
MST3K. Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I obviously
abbreviation.
I know what it means, but it just seems like it'd be just as easy to say Mystery Science Theater 3000. I don't know why.
Yeah, but Topher's on that next level nerd shit.
He's on that.
Let's see here.
He's on
Mystery Science Theater 3000. That's 11 syllables versus MST3K. It's 5 syllables. So it's like.
Don't be a
Are
thought.
you that fucking
like
lazy?
way more efficient.
Are you that lazy that you gotta fucking cut it down?
No, but like he's like, that seems harder. Like,
I didn't say it seems harder. I just said it just seems
just as hard.
Seems different. It just seems weird.
Half as much effort.
Did I say hard?
Makes it seem like you're trying to turn the show into a fucking droid from Star Wars.
Just call it what it is. CBN. Do we sit and refer to ourselves? What's going on? This is CBN squared.
He's got a fucking point there.
Did you ever play
1 point pirate for sure?
Did you guys ever play the old Star Wars computer game, the BioWare one, with like Darth Revan?
Book Nerd Nation 4 versus CBN. Oh well, yeah, you don't really have a point there actually. Pirate, I'm gonna overruled. That's 4 syllables to 4 syllables.
Did you guys ever?
Are you talking about Return of the Republic or whatever? What is it? Old Republic?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, that one. KOTR.
Yeah, everybody called it KOTOR. Like nobody called it Knights of the Old Republic. Like there are a million examples of people. But when you say
everybody, I believe you're talking about the people that played it religiously.
WoW. Nobody calls WoW World of Warcraft. It's always WoW between players.
Between players. Further verification.
Oh, still, whatever.
I mean, to break down
I'm just
a title
saying,
like that,
when I call it World of Warcraft, but I never played
You're picking a really odd thing to be criticizing me for right now that I chose to abbreviate.
I'm not really criticizing. I just like aggravating you.
I'm not aggravated. I think you're just making yourself sound like an idiot right now.
No,
like
I'm
calling
on,
me out for calling it MST3K.
Side. Pirate Brofist. That's what I'm talking about. Pirate, just so you know, you have to go to the camera.
Pirate.
I know.
You got to go to the camera for the Brofist.
There you go.
There it is. Okay. This motherfucker. I tell you what.
Not down, up.
He's fucking like putting it down to the keyboard and shit. Like my hand's actually there.
He's getting that under the table fisting.
Under the table fist. That low bro fist.
That's what's up.
That's that LBF.
Damn. Now we're getting serious. Oh, abbreviations for the low bro fist. All right.
The LBF. Hit him with the LBF.
That's a new thing now. LBF.
Hashtag LBF.
I should have went with the up BF, but I went with the LBF.
You mean UBF?
Okay, tell me. What's UBF?
Up bro fist.
Yeah.
Oh. Rock lobster.
Why? He said up BF, but I corrected him, and it should be UBF, not up BF.
Up, you, both one syllable.
Yep. Pirate wins. Man, this just came to us fucking. We were on a roll, and that shit just came to a screeching halt when Brian fucking opened his mouth. It was just like.
Where's Deadpool? Fuck Brian.
Man.
Put Deadpool back.
Seriously,
put Deadpool back. That motherfucker had some shit to say.
At least Deadpool had one semi-okay rock lobster. Yours was just flat out.
Just straight fucking
Slab
like a
rock
speeding
lobster.
train and hit the fucking brakes on it.
He left because you guys didn't give him any chimichangas.
The fucking hype train is done. Damn, that's rough. Did you guys get to see the Wonder Woman set photos?
Nope.
I
First
Don't
look?
care.
Mm-mm.
Gal Gadot is a
She's not a very
Eating
wondrous
disorder.
looking woman.
yeah. She looks like she would be Wonder Woman with an eating disorder.
I mean, we'll see, but I'm just like,
No,
I'm more excited for Aquaman.
I saw. I mean, I looked at the set photos. They're from World War One time period. I mean, it's you almost
So
can't
what did, like,
tell any
WW1.
the
Captain
big one.
America went
The
Oh
big
no,
one?
Right?
the
World War
second
II,
big, the
so
second biggest
I'm
one.
seeing-
Second
Wonder
one.
Woman's in World War One.
I'm seeing like a super bright red and blue costume. Is that right?
I don't think so. I don't know. I can. Let me see if I can find it again here.
I'm
I'll send you.
GTS these photos.
I'll send you a
Yeah,
link
'cause-
to look at it here. Give me 1 second.
Is she in costume in the pictures that you saw?
No.
Oh, is it the ones that okay, her and Chris Pine walking around in like World War II uniforms and shit? That
Yes,
one?
It's
probably.
Yeah, it's literally just
Yeah,
Not
these are
much.
some boring set photos.
yeah. There's not much to look at, and it's
So wait, is Steve Trevor is fucking old?
Yes.
Old?
No, well,
well, that makes. I mean,
Well,
he brings up a
good
good
point.
point. Unless this is
he's
like a
human.
flashback, then I mean, this would have to be a flashback. Otherwise, why would you have
Yeah.
Steve Trevor in it? I mean,
yeah.
No, Steve
Yeah,
Trevor
Steve.
is
Well, Chris Pine
not
is
old as Dart. Duty.
playing Steve Trevor, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Well-
know. I don't know that that's confirmed. Is it?
Pretty
thought
sure
it
it
was.
is.
Research analyst.
I'm on
But he's totally like in U.S. actor Chris is set to star as Captain Steve Trevor, a United States Air Force pilot and Wonder Woman's love interest in the film. But these are totally scenes from like fucking World War II.
World War One. What the fuck?
World War One? Okay, World War One,
They're
whatever.
setting. Wow.
This
that's,
is how you destroy
Yeah, that's-
DC
So
movies.
he's
that's
gonna be
pretty
like-
whoa,
awful.
whoa.
He's gonna be like fucking long ass dead by the time we get to
Yeah, so
modern
he's
day.
basically that. By doing that, they're basically making that character extinct. Like it's completely irrelevant in the current timeline. Like as
Well,
far
if-
as like the Justice
if
League
you
movie,
go
when
by-
it,
Well, how
when
else
if
is
it
she supposed to
happens-
make out with Superman?
But-
Duh.
If they go with the the Justice League animated show, Chris Pine was a World War II spy, and he was an old man when she came back, or she was in the future.
Yeah, but this is World War One.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Maybe-
No, he wasn't dating her. I mean, they wasn't dating. They
I'm
only
just saying,
dated
if
for
he was a
little bit in the
grown ass
past.
man, even if he was fucking 18 years old
Okay,
in
so
fucking World
name's
War One,
Steve.
he would definitely
His
be
name's
dead.
Steve. His name's Steve, and he's a captain. Maybe he gets frozen in ice,
Oh,
and they
see what the
uncover
Marvel
him in the
fanboy did?
future.
Oh, that would be gay.
Way to flip
How
the
about
script there.
no? Yeah. Right. So, did you guys see? Have any of you watched
No.
the Supergirl show on CBS?
No.
I saw the first
Yeah,
episode.
the
Yeah, I saw the
one
first
I've seen.
episode.
What did
but
you guys
that-
think
I
of
was
it?
Like,
I recorded the other ones. Haven't gotten around to watching them.
It was
yet.
okay.
Not my
I like how
shit.
they hinted to Superman and they dropped his name a lot, but and gave a
It was-
reason why he's not going to be there. But other
It
than
was definitely okay.
I mean, apparently it's fucking smashing it in the ratings.
well, did you hear what they're going to do if they?
Well, it's smashing it in the ratings for network TV because all network TV sucks ass. Like,
I mean,
See
it could be, I
that-
guess.
What they're going to do if it gets picked up for a second season?
What?
they're gonna shit all over it.
They are going to have a crossover with definitely Flash, maybe Arrow and Legends.
Ooh.
No, I
really,
just read
I
something
thought
today.
I thought I just read some.
Yeah, I
I
read
thought I
something.
just read
today.
something that said today that they weren't gonna do that they weren't gonna do
Yeah,
a
I
cross.
read
The
something
message,
today.
the message that I got today from a fellow that
Somebody's
we
gonna
work
fact
with,
check pirate now.
I would be
it was.
I would
Call
be
that fellow
cons-
up. We want to know what
I
he
would
read.
be
and
Did you
where
see
it's
the
from.
report of Weekend that if Supergirl gets ordered for the full season, 9 additional episodes from the current order, that they are rumored to change their mind and there will be a crossover? Well, at the very least, Flash will appear on Supergirl. It didn't mention if she'd appear on Flash or if anyone else would join Flash on her show. Well, it said she'll meet Flash and the Star Labs crew. No mention of Arrow or Legends.
Well, here's a bit of news for you then. That this just got released today. CBS has ordered 7 more episodes for Supergirl's first season. The show debuted with 12.96 thousand viewers. I think M, that's 1,000. Small M is 1,000, right?
No, that's
Million.
like
Is that
like
million? I don't
meh,
think that's million.
maybe 5. It's like meh.
It's like 5.
Man,
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
12 maybe.
it
So,
tied for the highest rated premiere of the year, and it's up 46% compared to the show that aired in that time slot last year.
Man,
They ordered CBS as of the recording today. CBS ordered the rest of the first season today,
Right.
and they did a press screening of the Flash and Arrow crossover earlier today, and the press was asking Greg Berlanti, the producer of all of them, whether there was going to be a crossover with Supergirl in the future, and he said, or at least sometime in the first season, and he said no.
He was like, "Fuck no."
He said
Fuck
no.
no.
No, only because we just received the pickup, not at this point. So he basically said it's too late to really do a crossover this season. So I mean, I guess they haven't ruled it out for future seasons, but he was straight up asked earlier today, and he said no, there will be no crossover with Supergirl.
I feel like that would
one.
really further weaken the Arrow show. Like, it would just bury him under a fucking shitstorm of, like, it's already seems like it's been difficult enough to make the Arrow relevant in a world where, like you said on the last episode, Topher, where to make him relevant in a world where superpowers exist, essentially.
I mean, isn't that what he does in the comics?
Yeah, but the way, if you watch the show, the way that they portray it, and Topher brought up a really good point in the last episode, was that 90% of the fucking Arrow's problems could be solved by Flash just coming in and disarming the motherfuckers before the Arrow even does anything. And that even gets illustrated in one of the episodes.
Yeah, but Arrow has helped Flash in an episode too.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that was in an effort to make the Arrow more relevant because of the fact that you could just be like, I mean, Arrow is fighting all of these League of Assassins. What's stopping the fucking Flash from just coming in and like fucking clearing house?
I mean,
right
look what's going to happen with
the
same situation is going to be happening come March when Batman v Superman happens. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree. I don't know how they're going to deal with that. But then the question is, like, you add Supergirl to that mix, like. How, like, in a lot of the comics, she's more powerful than Superman.
Yeah, but she's more immature, and she doesn't know how to control those powers. Just like Superman has to walk around on eggshells because he'll destroy everything. She doesn't have that ability, so she's not more powerful. She's just more of a loose cannon with her powers.
So how do you make someone without powers relevant in a world where you've got now someone that can fly, laser beam vision? My
point last week was in reference to keeping the TV show and the movie universes separate, and how it seemed like they didn't want to up the the ante on what was possible in the world by putting the big guns in the same universe as Flash and Arrow, and how in a world where Flash and Superman exist, that Arrow's powers are not as impressive. Clearly but comics do the same thing all the time. Comics have huge power imbalances, and those characters find ways to be useful, or they pair up in the giant fight against somebody that's more on their skill level, or something will happen to even it out a little bit. Like, you'll have kryptonite, to bring Superman down to their level, or somebody will have like, Green Arrow will have like some kind of trick, awesome arrow that lets, that lets him negate the powers, like, so I mean, like they always find ways to try and even the scales a little bit. But my point was that like Arrow already exists in Flash's universe, so I don't understand why they're afraid to bring in Superman or Supergirl or whatever into the TV universe, because they already have to deal with that. So
Right.
like I don't get the point of keeping them separate, because it's not like you're changing anything that already exists. Flash can already run in with superpowers and solve half of Arrow's problems, but he doesn't, and they've managed to make that work, with him not doing that. So I don't see why it's a big deal if Superman exists in his universe.
The only challenge that I see that and the only reason why they wanted that, well, I take that back. The only challenge I think that a writer would have would be not writing the material to where they could all coexist, but to write it in a tasteful manner to where special effects are not going to make it cheesy and shitty looking. That I think would be the biggest challenge in of itself for those crossovers. And they've proven with Flash they can do it. You look at the evolution of Grodd. Look at each time we've seen Grodd in Flash,
Awesome.
and how much better he's gotten look visually. You know what I mean? Look at King Shark. We just seen a taste of that. And they just keep teasing Grodd enough to where, he's only been in maybe a total of all the episodes. Maybe. Yeah, and you probably, of those 3 episodes, you've probably only seen him maybe a total of like 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
And look at you could just see the evolution of how much more of a budget and how much more time they put on creating Grodd for that scene, or those scenes in general.
Brian, what do you think? You watch these shows as well. What's your opinion on bringing Supergirl and the powers that Supergirl possesses into a universe where Arrow and Flash are already there, but there's a huge power disparity between the two of those, and then adding that next level of superpowers with Supergirl. Clearly he's tired. Let me
do it.
Boring him.
Topic bores the shit out, bores him to sleep.
I mean, you got all these heroes getting thrown in soon anyway with that new show coming out. I mean,
that's true.
Legends of Tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, they're all DC's property, and
I think that would be the place to do
separate it. Is like stupid, because they can make better stories and bring in better villains that they need on them all to take down. I mean, just
you're never going to see a dark side.
Just do it. Oh man, if anybody's ever watched the fucking final season of Smallville, that was horrible. They had Darkseid in the news. He was like
the paramedic. That was Doomsday.
No, that was Doomsday. Doomsday was like Hulk. The guy who was Doomsday hulked out into Doomsday.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Darkseid was like a shadow.
Yeah, it was a
figure.
Yeah, that like possessed people.
So like Galactus Cloud.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I forgot about that.
Now, did you guys get?
But not giant, but this small.
Did you guys get to see the first look at the Mr. Freeze that's going to be coming out on the Gotham TV show?
Of course we did. You sent it to us.
I did.
I didn't see it.
Way to blow my fucking cover.
Yeah,
asshole.
Like crap. Looks like crap.
Looks like he's got like some. Are those like hockey gloves? What is those?
Yeah, they probably are hockey gloves. I'm gonna pull a random Cards Against Humanity card out of my duck, and that's the description of.
He looks like fucking Captain Cold from Flash.
He really does. He looks really similar to Captain Cold.
Like I said,
Captain Cold with a beanie.
I hope fucking Commissioner Gordon tells him like, I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Well, Cards Against Humanity describes it as real cheese flavor.
What?
Rock lobster.
I know.
That's from Cards Against Humanity. That was.
Yeah, you can't rock lobster. Cards Against Humanity.
Was...
I used a Magic 8-Ball to describe.
I can do what I want. I'm driving this fucking boat.
I actually, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just say it. I actually enjoy the show Gotham.
Really?
Yeah.
I still have never seen it.
I have not. I've watched one episode.
Kick him out of the podcast.
I'm planning to watch it at some point.
Somebody kick him off the call.
I just haven't gotten to the point where like that's the thing I want to watch most.
There's just so much
I'm
other
so
stuff that's better.
Yeah, I'm so far
There
behind on other
is.
shows that I need to watch, and like whenever I'm like, do I want to watch Gotham or anything else? So far, anything else is.
I got more time on my hands. I don't sit around to abbreviate things.
Stop
so
messing.
in the downtime,
Mic drop.
You have more time if you did abbreviate things.
Mic drop. Well,
he
not
dropped
if he has
it
to,
back.
not if he has to
took it
sit
back
around
up.
and think of the abbreviations.
I mean, somebody already developed
Oh right,
a name
you
for
have
me.
to know how to spell. I
See?
forgot.
Damn, shit's getting
Some
heated.
advanced level shit.
Letters. I don't work well with. I don't know my long
We might have
division
to
of
bring in a
letters.
third-party judge. Brian, who dropped the mic hardest?
I'm gonna give it to Topher.
If we could fucking wake him up, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what
Seriously.
happens
Topher,
when we
you're always-
record at 8 o'clock at night.
When we have it
Topher, you're
late
al-
at night,
You're
like
always
fucking 8
calling
PM.
me old. Look at him. He's over here fucking falling asleep on camera.
It took a lot out of me to get Deadpool onto this podcast. So you guys going home.
Wow.
There's none of you dropped the mic hardest. I did.
Gotham is a show you have to take for itself. You can't.
No, you
go
don't,
into-
because if they want to put the aura of Batman in it and have all Batman's characters in it and just screw it up so when Batman's old enough to be Batman, all his characters are running around in wheelchairs,
What I mean,
basically.
He's got a fucking point. I mean,
he does, and I
a
agree
lot
with
of
it. But
the
I'm
a lot of
saying
the a lot of the villains are like full-grown fucking adults, and he's like 7 years old or whatever.
not all of them. I mean,
He's like 12.
I
Give
mean,
him
one
a-
of them's his fucking teacher.
I mean, here's the thing though. Like, you got to think if he's 12, Mr. Freeze has always been much older than Batman in general. So if
Okay.
he's 12 and you add 20 years and say if Mr. Freeze in this photo is 25, he's 45. Let's give him 30 years, 55. He's still not that much older. And if Batman's 25,
How? Okay, hold on a minute. Let's just. Gee, I mean, granted, none of us on this podcast are like in wonderful, spectacular fucking shape physically right now.
Mhm.
We're not like world beater athletes or anything like that. But do you think you could, in a physical altercation, take a 55-year-old man?
I mean,
yes. Fuck
okay, here's
yes.
the
That
thing.
depends. Does
Arnold
he have a freeze
Schwarzenegger?
gun?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, look at the shape he was in.
If you had if you had billions of
Wait,
dollars
do I
to
have ice?
have technology out the ass, all of Batman's tech, you think you could fucking take 100% physically?
Okay, here's a
55-year-old
prime
man just
example.
doesn't-
Fuck a 55-year-old man. Just look at the Penguin in general.
Whoa.
Wait, no.
Whoa.
I draw the line
Back
of
that
fucking
shit up for a
55
second. Why is
No.
Batman?
Let's-
Why
okay.
is Batman fucking a 55-year-old man? Let's
Okay,
get
let's
back
look
to
at the Penguin in general. Penguin in general. He's a short, fat, hobbling man, regardless of age.
All right.
And he's still a villain to Batman, right?
True. All right.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. I give you that one by the skin on your teeth.
The skin of his
you
balls.
fucking worked your way out of that one. Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
And look at the Joker. The Joker's a scrawny beanpole of a guy who's just crazy and sadistic. Doesn't matter the age.
Yeah, but that's kind of a different. Like, he's not a physical enemy. He's more of a trials and tribulations kind of.
So you
enemy.
have him who's like the destructive that always tests Batman's. How far will he go?
Batman.
You have the Riddler who always tests his like mental attitude. You have Mr. Freeze who always tests his tech. There's different villains that are wrote different ways, man. It doesn't matter what physically if you set them next to each other who wins in a fight.
I don't know, man.
I mean, look at Lex Luthor and Superman.
Yeah, that's
Regardless of
definitely a
age.
tech situation.
Well, I'm just saying.
I don't know. What do you think, Topher?
About what?
Oh my
About
god!
fucking a
These motherfuckers
55
aren't even paying attention.
This conversation was boring me. I kind of tuned it out.
What a son of a bitch!
He was trying to abbreviate Mr. Freeze.
Trying to figure
all
out
the
a new
shit
fucking
we were saying.
abbreviation.
He wanted to
No, it's
abbreviate the
actually-
whole conversation.
I was actually reading an article about Simon Kinberg gave an interview with some people about all the different upcoming Fox X-Men movie projects. And there was some cool stuff in here, so that was far more interesting to me than what
Is
anything
that-
Pirate had to say.
FXMP
Yeah.
or UFXMP?
Well, XMA, there's an NM, there's a W, and there's a G coming too.
Oh wow! So
Yeah.
we put it all together. Actually, give us the whole article, but abbreviated.
Abbreviate that shit.
Let us see your letters.
I'm like tempted to start doing it. Just
Abbreviate
to
it like
piss
it's
you
hot.
off.
Abbreviate it like it's
So the last bit of news that I've got, I'm just gonna.
Oh God,
Abbreviate it
please
like
don't
it's
let it be
H.
more terrible TV shows.
No, this is actually something I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but it's out there, and if you want to see it, it's on YouTube. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. One of
I
arguably.
haven't heard his
Who
middle.
is he?
I haven't heard his name pronounced quite like that, but sure.
How do you pronounce his name?
NDT.
Damn! Mic drop. Brian wins. Fucking Brian wins. Neil deGrasse Tyson. DeGrasse Tyson. How do you say his name?
The show in Canada, Degrassi.
Right.
How do you say his name?
Anyway, what did he do?
No, I would.
It's
I'm,
just DeGrasse. It's not Degrassi.
You might want to get that one down.
I don't think so.
And so long to Pirate. And
Yeah. I don't know
on
where
that
Pirate
note,
went.
peace out, Pirate.
I'm pretty sure that's not how you say it, based on his podcast, but I'm pretty sure he pronounces it Degrassi. I could be wrong, but anyway, arguably one of the
Want to
greatest.
put another 5 on it?
Arguably one of the greatest scientific minds of our time. He took time to make a video, or somebody made a video rather, of him taking the time to dissect who would win between the Millennium Falcon and the Star Trek Enterprise. So
Isn't that an old thing? Is that a new one or?
I don't.
I think it's a couple of weeks old.
I honestly don't
Oh.
know. I can't open it because I'm recording this. I can't open the link or anything because it'll just
I
start
got
playing.
5 on it.
So
but
what are we talking about
What's
here?
up? Neil deGrasse, as Topher pronounced
NDT.
NDT
NBT.
made a video where somebody interviewed him and he debated with himself about the Millennium Falcon versus the Star
Wait,
Trek
he debated
Enterprise.
to himself? He baited to himself? I don't know why.
No, that's
Wow.
just wrong.
Rock Lobster.
He says the Enterprise would destroy the Millennium Falcon.
Which is
And,
wrong.
I'm gonna have to say that's right.
I'm gonna have to kick you off this podcast.
I mean,
I
I don't know that I could argue. I don't know that I could ever argue against that man. He's so
Well-
much fucking smarter than anyone and or all of us combined.
Well, what did the
That-
USS
I just-
Enterprise do in the Kessel Run?
Shit, because it's
What-
big and slow.
What does that have to do with a fight
What the
between
hell?
two ships?
I'm
What
just
is-
saying, at speed. I think
So
the Millennium
you're
Falcon
saying,
would outmaneuver
that,
the
you're saying
USS
that it would
Enterprise.
win because it can go in a straight line faster than,
Well, it could get away if
Dude,
it had to,
which is not winning.
and shoot back in. I think it
If
would
you're in a
outmaneuver
fight,
the
if you're in a fight with
Enterprise.
someone, if you go to a bar, okay, and you pick a fight with someone, you guys hit each other a couple times, and then that motherfucker runs away. Who won the fight?
If I walk out the bar and he runs up behind me and gets me later on that night, I don't see it.
I'm just saying,
I
he
put-
runs
Enterprise-
away. He
First
runs
of all,
away.
wait.
The Enterprise
what?
is like 100 times the size of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, but
That's the-
still.
It has
that's the thing,
giant
too.
fucking shields. The Falcon would never get through the damn Enterprise's shields, and the Enterprise can lock onto it and like burn down the shields with phasers and fucking fire proton
Yeah, but
torpedoes at it.
can't only their phasers fire forward?
No.
I'm pretty sure I've never seen it fire
yeah.
backwards.
I've always seen it always fire forward.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, it's always because you always see what it's shooting at from the bridge.
You ever seen a duck shit in the water?
Yes.
But there's no
Just because you
way.
haven't
Shit
seen it
on
doesn't
the
mean it
water.
don't happen.
There's no way that the Falcon could ever get the Enterprise's shields down.
First of
Like,
all, who's
it's just-
piloting the damn Enterprise?
You ever seen the Pope shit outside
Data?
the Vatican? That it
No,
happens.
because there's no toilet
What the
outside
hell are
the
you
Vatican.
talking about?
I'm just saying, things happen.
He's
that
not
you
gonna
don't
walk
see.
outside and be like, masses.
You see gravity?
See my
I don't see
shit.
gravity. But
I
it
see
happens.
gravity.
Just
If
saying.
you pick something up and drop
Gravity.
it, technically.
Topher's not buying it.
Gravity.
Topher's not buying it.
Mic drop. Gravity.
Of all the motherfuckers on this podcast, I thought
Gravity.
that Topher would fucking back me up on this. I'm on Team Star Trek for sure. There's
Didn't he
no
say he was on Team Star Trek?
Yeah, he did.
So he's backing you up.
So I am.
Yeah, but he's looking at me like I'm a goddamn mongoloid.
You don't know who he's
You're
looking
talking
at.
about the Pope shitting in an alley outside the Vatican.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why you're still talking about people shitting in random places.
Oh fuck!
Back alley
First
Pope
of all,
taking a deuce and
like
shit,
I
dude.
asked,
I mean,
who's
I didn't say
flying
anything
the
about the Pope
Enterprise?
shitting in an alley, but I like the flavor you put on it.
little sprinkles, but still, you know.
Jesus.
Who's flying the more?
Card
who's
shit in the
flying the-
holodeck.
It's amazing how you could just say something out loud on this podcast and in just a matter of seconds it just gets twisted and fucking turned to something
Well, it wasn't
completely
twisted
different.
and turned. It was just a little flavor.
Pretty sure
to
we were
what you
talking
said.
about who would win in a fight between spaceships, and you're over there coming up with random people and where they shit.
No,
So-
okay. So
Not just
he
people,
said,
creatures
he
in
said,
general.
I've never
I know how you got there, but then
Yeah.
you like continued on with like 7 more people and where they shit.
Completely
Like-
logical. Completely logical.
And I'm pretty sure
argument.
the only reason you put in gravity was because gravity is what pulls turds out.
No,
that
I
would be a
forced
Brian
him.
argument for sure.
I'm just like,
Wow.
Brian just blew a gasket.
Yeah.
Now
I'm
it's a
pretty sure
hemorrhoid.
he has to replace a gasket like every week as much as he talks
But-
about pooping.
Pack a hemorrhoid back in his butthole.
That's on that note, that's it for this episode. I can't take any more of this shit. I'm Fox
I can't take
2.
any more of your crap.
We got Pirate,
Pooping in the alley behind the Vatican.
Topher.
I like how I mentioned a news article that actually talks about, comic book related stuff and how it was way more interesting, and not one of you asked what anything that was in it. Like, we don't care. Fuck it. We'd rather talk about poop.
Pooping in alleys in the.
What was it about?
City.
Fill us in. Get that shit off your chest, son.
I mean,
Get that poop off your chest, son.
That Cleveland steamer.
Say it with your chest.
What?
wait, what?
Say it with your chest. I got something to say. He said say it with your chest.
I'm not sure what that means.
Neither am I, so I
Pirate
just
got it.
don't.
I know Pirate got it.
I got it.
Anyway,
Say it with
what
your
was it
butthole.
about? Are you gonna fuck? Please
Oh.
expand on your experience while reading said article.
Sure.
Even though
I was just
half of us
you
said
guys
bye
should-
already.
Just talk about it. Let's see here. He was just talking about all the different movies that they've got coming up on the slate. He confirmed that there is a New Mutants movie that I'm kind of excited about. That one's like way far away now. But,
All right, folks, that's all we
apparently-
got today on the.
Oh, that was fucking-
And we got Pirate.
That was fucking clever. Well done, sir. Well done. 5 points to Pirate.
Oh, I
5
got
points to Gryffindor.
I got 5 on it.
Oh fuck, that was good.
So mutants.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. All
No,
eyes on
I'm
you.
done. Fuck you, I'm done.
All eyes on you, Cabby.
Nope. You don't get to know.
Fair enough.
Go ahead with said mutants.
Oh,
Deadpool was mentioned. Yeah.
really?
What?
This is a movie, or did you say it's a movie or a TV show?
This was Simon Kinberg, the producer who's been doing all the Fox Marvel movies, gave an interview where he was giving updates on all the different movies that they've got slated coming up.
What
Um,
movies about mutants?
Obviously Deadpool's up next, but they were asking about about X-Men Apocalypse and how true it stays to the comics and different things, and they said that they are going to explore the relationship between Quicksilver and Magneto, and that Magneto will be his father in the movie, and
They're both grumpy.
and that there are going to be a lot of tie-ins to the comics, and he said he doesn't want to talk too much about content, but there's a lot from the comics that's in the movie, more than any X-Men film they've had yet. So that sounds promising. I guess they're looking to get a new director for the Gambit movie with Channing Tatum. And that one might get pushed back a little bit because it was supposed to come out next October, but when the last director left, kind of put that back a little bit. There's going to be a final solo Wolverine movie that we know about, but apparently they've shown some details to Hugh Jackman, and he's super excited about. So
you said New Mutants is going to be one of them,
and then the last one that's on the slate for them is the New Mutants. New Mutants was basically a comic book that came out in '83-ish, somewhere like early '80s. It was basically like a younger generation team of X-Men. Like that's where like Cannonball and Magic and
Deadpool,
Sunspot.
right?
Actually, Deadpool debuted. Was in New Mutants '98. Yep. But long before Deadpool was in it, Cable was first appearance was in that series too, like issue 87 or something. But the series basically started like in the early 80s because like all the the X-Men started out as like a school, Xavier School for gifted youngsters, but like at that point most of the characters had like kind of grown up and graduated and weren't really kids anymore, so they were like we want to do the school thing again. So they started the New Mutants title where they got a bunch of new students, and I mean those characters have been fairly prominent in the comics throughout the years. Sunspot and Cannonball are both on the Avengers now. Magic is obviously like huge amongst the X-Men.
I love Magic. You want to see me pull a rabbit out of my head?
Do you think that there's going to be like a crossover with Deadpool into the New Mutants movie, or?
I mean, I don't know if there'll be a crossover with Deadpool, but I mean, I guarantee that the New Mutants and the X-Men are gonna are probably going to have future crossover stuff. But apparently they've got a first draft of that script, and the guy who wrote it was like a huge fan of the New Mutants comic book growing up, and was like that was like one of his favorite comics, and he was a huge fan of it, and they got him to write the script. So I've got hope that it
will be good.
Will be good and has a lot in common
like with Fantastic Four.
Will just be like random shit they made up, and it's like, what does this have to do with anything? So
well, that's cool.
I don't know. Obviously Fantastic Four fell a little flat in everybody's eyes, but I'm still holding out some hope. I'll buy the
DVD for $1 when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm still holding out some hope for the X-Men mutant side of Fox's franchise.
I hope it does. I really do. As a comic book fan in general, I hope it does well. But just because I hate to see any comic book property cinematically do as bad as Fantastic Four did, but
what if they made a movie adaptation of the totally awesome Hulk?
I would be upset about it, but I mean, I would hope that it did well cinematically.
Which is on store shelves next week.
Just for the sake of the comic book community, I would hope it did well to some audience, whoever the fuck that might be. Wouldn't be me, but I would hope that it would do well. I mean, but if you look into, like, if you read about the Fantastic Four like production and all the problems that they had with the director and the relationships, like the relations between the director and the actors, it was just constantly a tumultuous situation where it was
I like it.
It was really like there was just a total breakdown between the director and the acting crew, and it was just, there was really nothing good about it, from the shooting to the editing to the, so it's not a surprise that it failed in the box office, because from the get-go a fucking nightmare, even for the people that were involved, apparently. So you have to assume that that's part of it, not necessarily just that Fantastic Four is a bad property or anything like that. I just think they haven't put together the right group of people to shoot and produce and write a Fantastic Four movie. I think it's totally possible to do something
shooting?
that would do well.
When did that movie come out? I still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. It came out
summer.
No, it was this year, I think.
Yeah, last summer, this year.
It was August 7th. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, part of me was wondering, is it still in theaters? Because
No,
like
no, that shit was in theaters for like a week and a half.
it's pretty much unheard of for me to not go see a movie, like a comic book movie, when it's in theaters. Like this might be the first.
It really
This
was
might
not
be the
in
first
theaters
big
very
comic
long.
book movie that I didn't see in theaters.
Yeah, it really honestly was not in theaters. Maybe 2.5 weeks, like, and that's it, because it just really bombed badly.
Ouch! It got 2 stars.
On
IMDb gives it a 4.3 out of 10.
yeah, it's really bad. And if you read a lot of the reviews, or not reviews, but interviews with cast members and actors and things like that, they talk a lot about how it was just there was bad situations. They actually, like, the production staff or something rented a farmhouse where they were shooting, and they ended up getting kicked out, like evicted from the house because they weren't taking care of it. And like, I mean, it was everything down to like the finest little details. Just nothing worked out while they were shooting this movie. And it's like, when you think about that and the added stress and stuff that would put on the actors that are trying to do a good job, regardless of the script, it's not a surprise that the end product wasn't good. It just wasn't, So I don't know. I mean, I would like to see a good Fantastic Four movie. Whether or not we do, I don't know. I really don't know at this point. They may just fucking drop it cinematically. But yeah, so
They'll wait for it to come back to. Once it comes back to Marvel's hands, it'll be all right.
yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Marvel might not even fuck with it. There's been so many bad Fantastic Fours. They may just not even fuck with it.
They got to make one in like another 5 years or some shit like that, or 7 years, or whatever the limit is.
They canceled. That was one of the things we talked about last week. They canceled the 2016 or 2017. Fox canceled the movie. They just
that's what I'm saying. Like,
fucking,
if they don't make it,
then
then it's the rights are going to revert back to Marvel at some point,
or
then
be open for bidding or something like that. I'm sure.
No, it just reverts right back to them.
Oh, well, that's I think that wraps it up for this episode. Episode 106. Is that what it is, Topher? 106.
Yep, 106.
Damn, we're on a roll, motherfuckers.
We can abbreviate that with 106.
106. I'm Fox 2. We got Pirate.
OZS.
We got T.
Oh, that's me.
Oh,
I get it.
I see how that can get confusing. And we got Deadpool.
POOL.
All right, see you guys.